Who's missing? There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he's been nursing it a while. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks, and this map. Minratha's target. That doesn't sound good. The bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain. Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Cuffs. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in a city. You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
Got company.
Rook kicked the crap out of him. Nice casting. You're on your ass. Golden glory.
Eyes open. Get clear.
Something tore. Watch out! I bet this Darkspawn was what tore through the gates.
Got things ready.
Watch your ass. For golden glory.
Well, look at that.
More blight in the way. That did it.
Bunch of them. Let's do this.
We'll see who ends this.
Rook, not bad.
End it now.
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. But I've mentioned that.
Still blocked. There's another boil somewhere. Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow dragons? How did you find this place? Venator! For me! You think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? Or the risen gods?
I don't know. But I can take you on.
The Shadow Dragons have brought nothing but chaos to the city!
At least we're not trying to blight. Take them.
That's one less corrupt Templar in Mathis.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around, see what we find.
Weird place to hang out.
The Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for. These star charts predict an eclipse to make magic stronger.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
Lenos's documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do to Tevinter. All this, the ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans, we have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
Let's head back. The Shadows need to know about this.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You, on the throne, Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Changing Tevinter, helping people. If we can get something good out of all this, I'm for it.
You've given us an opening, Rook, and believe me, we shall seize upon it.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No. We have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're shadow dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the South. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
Nevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium's strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
You want me to choose who will be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right. I'll go do that.
Grand news about Lenos. One less crooked Templar in town.
The city will be better off with him gone.
We can hope.
Lenos made my life miserable. Rana's too.
I hear he started out different. Maybe he once cared about something other than gold. But I didn't know that, Lenos. And I'm not going to mourn the one I did. Still, I'll thank the bastard for writing everything down. And delivering it to us all neat.
Dorian and Maevaris still have to decide what to do with everything we got from Lenos.
And they asked for my opinion. Can you believe it?
After all that talk about people needing a voice, I'd be looking at them sideways if they didn't.
I suspect this decision will determine Tevinter's path for years to come.
Then Dorian's way is my choice. He knows you don't stop to talk when you find a hole in the enemy's defenses.
Dorian is a brash rebel.
And Maevaris too much of a romantic.
I think the people will appreciate Maevaris returning as the leader they've always wanted to see.
No. They'll appreciate their lives actually changing for the better.
What if we pick the wrong person?
They both care. They'll both try their best. There is no wrong person. With your help, we've come further than we have in years. Change isn't a straight line. All that matters is that we keep moving.
And that's just fancy talk for thanks, Rook. You did good.
So, what do you think?
Lenos is gone. We got information about the Venatori's plans, the god's ritual. I'd call that a good day.
I meant about Mayvaris and Dorian. We all want change. Who will be more effective in getting it?
Oh, that. You're dragging me into it?
You know me. I'm trouble. But more than that, it's your city, your Tevinter. And I care about what you think.
Sweet talker. Mayvaris Talani has been in this game for decades. She's dedicated and ruthless when she needs to be. Dorian Parvis is a wild card. Flashy and inventive, he'll keep his enemies on their toes. But damn it, Rook, there's no right answer. They both play the game well, and Tevinter's ready for change. But the best way to get it, who can make it happen, I wish I knew.
Maker. A full quarter of the Magisterium supporting a cult. Bending the knee to these risen old gods just for a taste of more power. Can they not see they're only tools for the gods? So they can destroy the world?
Demanding intelligence, rationality, and self-awareness from our peers. You ask too much, Mayvaris.
Look at me. Such a fool.
Ah, it's Rook. You spoke with the others.
What do you think? Who should be leading the charge from here on?
What happens after it's decided who'll lead?
Well, Lenos is gone, the cult's numbers are down, and they're scrambling to prepare for the god's ritual. They'll be distracted. It's a perfect opportunity to get our preparations in order.
All plans contingent on surviving the current disaster, of course.
Dorian should lead.
Then it is decided. Of course, it only makes sense, but... Ha! Look at me! The sudden pressure.
You won't be alone. All of us are behind you. The Shadow Dragons, the city, her people.
It will take all of them to overcome the risen gods.
You'll find a way to bring them together.
The people know they don't want blight-ridden fiends in their city. They don't need me to tell them. I can, however, show them how to fight. Gods, cults, evil magisters, nothing will stand in our way of forging a new Tevinter.
That Venatori stunt with the Darkspawn has me dreading what's to come.
Warden training taught me that when you spot a Darkspawn, there's at least 20 more hiding nearby.
I must thank you again for everything you've done. Not being overrun with blight. Wonderful. And now we also have hope of changing things for the better.
I did what anyone would have done.